What's up, YouTube? So I got to visit the Pleasant Hill Consolidated School in Hemingway, South Carolina. They're selling it, and I got a personally guided tour through as a prospective buyer. I want to personally thank the current owners for their hospitality. I blurred them out, that way their identities remain safe. This is the old band building, and they've converted it into living space for themselves. Ceiling's still not done. That's obviously the kitchen. Now we're moving on into one of the actual buildings. There's three buildings. There's a grammar school, an auditorium, a gymnasium, and all of that makes up the high school. Both of the schools are U-shaped. This is one of the dry rooms, so you could actually use it for storage. The floor is not rotted out or anything like that. You'll see a lot of rot starting right here. This school was built around 1938 and actually was closed sometime in the 2000s. I can't find out exactly when, but apparently they went from being an all-white school to having African American kids in, and there was some, shall we say, controversy over that, and that actually caused the school to close. And they were going to reopen it, and then they just gave up and started an entirely new school, which goes by the same name. This will be in the center of the U-shaped school. There's the covered walkway. These folks had their things stored in what were the dry rooms. This here is quite a bit of damage from the roof leaking. You can see the floor and even the lights are starting to fall down. Lots of water intrusion. These baskets were used for carrying all the little kids' documents and stuff. That was a brief view of the gymnasium. We'll go in there later. This is the girls' bathroom, and it happens to be a dry room. As you can tell, they're storing more of their things in there. These are all of the lockers, and the owners actually found a master key, and they were able to open them, and they were starting to open the lockers and finding documents that some of the kids had left behind, like homework and stuff like that. Pretty interesting. Vandals actually came in and knocked over all of these lockers, which I can't imagine. It had to take a lot of effort to get those to fall down. That is the bleachers that are making up the gymnasium. So we're looking in the window underneath it, and we're going to go in there in a minute. This is the cafeteria, and the roof has just totally fallen down in here. You can see it had a nice tile floor, and that roof is just completely gone. This, unfortunately, is full of asbestos. That sign was stolen from the front of the building on the street, and it disappeared briefly, and then it was found inside the cafeteria here. But the city actually has replaced the sign, so you actually have two signs on the property. Over here's a small bathroom. And back here is the freezer. There's a walk-in freezer as well as food storage, which we'll go to in a second here. There's a small wash basin for when you were preparing food. That actually exits the building, but there you can see some pallets where there would have been dry food storage. And then here on the left is more storage There's their walk-in freezer. You can see what would have held the coils. There's the fans. And this is the actual walk-in freezer. There's a refuse disposal place behind the school now, which was part of the property, but the current owner subdivided or something like that, and she's charging the city to have a small dump there, which is extra income. Here we're walking up the stairs into the gym. Quite a bit of damage here. You can see the roof is completely coming down. It's just not safe at all, unfortunately. That's underneath the bleachers. Lots of old things. There's an old desk, which was right there. All of the bones of the gym are solid. This, as the stairs that you would actually walk up, that is the room where it would be like a changing room, and then you would walk up these stairs onto the stage for people who were doing stage performances. Here's extra spare windows, and that's all in what would be a shower room next to the gym. Check out these old school desks that the students would have used. Very cool. And of course, we gotta have 666 graffitied in. Here's an extremely old air conditioner. I guess I cut it a little bit, but you could see it briefly for a moment there. And yet another bathroom for the boys. I believe the girls was across the way, but we didn't go in. This is another little outbuilding. We did not go up the stairs there, but it was another small residence up there. And going down the stairs, you actually get to see the old boiler room. Here's two of the boilers. The third one is behind me. This is full of water, which they were trying to pump out, and I think they said they had gotten a lot of it out before, and then when I came, there had been a storm right before, and it filled up again. So they said there were a lot of interesting artifacts down there. Check out these enormous boilers, though. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I love getting to preserve these old places before they are completely destroyed. Obviously, if they're selling it, the new owner could completely bulldoze it or who knows what. So I'm glad I got to document this, and I hope you enjoyed it.